people, welcome back to our channel. You're here with me, Sarit and Stevie K. Okay, today guys, we're watching Poor Man Curry versus Rich Man Curry.
In London. So basically, we're going to see me eating Poor Man Curry. And Sarit is Rich Woman Curry, because, you know, and that's how we are.
Really?
I am ਘਰ ਦੀ ਰੋਟੀ ਦਾਲ ਸਵਾਦ
ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਘੁੰਮਦੀ ਫਿਰਦੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਆ ਨਾ, ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਇੰਨੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਮੈਂ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਹੋਟਲ ਚ ਖਾਂਦੀ ਆ
ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ, ਤੂੰ ਹੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਬਸ। ਚੱਲ ਦੇਖਿਆ, ਸੁਣ ਲਿਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ।
Rich man you said.
Rich woman ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ, Rich woman। ਹਾਂ ਲੰਡਨ
ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀ ਆ, ਲੈ ਕੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਂਦਾ।
ਸੁਣ ਲਓ। Anyway guys, this is from the Best Ever Food Review Show channel. Yes, Sonny side. I'm going to check this one out. It's been a while. But this is not so, you know, one of these recent ones kind of thing. I'm not going to say any more.
You always realise, not before we say any more, because I'm going to say it right now, because it's me saying before you even watch it. It's always the little dubby, shitty places that you go to that the food is so much more nicer. So the poor.
Why would you call it a shitty place then?
Like, you know, it's not like, I'm not being shitty. Like, you know, it's not like all about the aesthetics and it's, you know, posh,
it's not
place.
No.
It's nicer. The food is so much more. Del Sebanaya. The other places.
I agree. All the other ones are basically the brand hunda. You know, and not only that.
And it's already made. It's been stored there, just heated up.
Yeah, and not only that, it is. I do think that it's basically having different kind of clientele, isn't it? It's the, like you said, it's, you know, the way that the rooms and everything's set and everything like that, and people want to take those pictures to make it feel like a media kind of thing. Whereas, you know, the short little tubby or Dukana and stuff like that.
Really nice place in London and Birmingham, and the English place, and people
English
sitting
place,
there.
Indian.
The English place that we end up having fish and chips.
Oh yeah.
People sitting there, I'm like, they do this every day, and they pay for like lobsters, this, that, the other. I don't know what they eat, steaks and stuff. And
the Indian place that we went to Birmingham as well. Yeah, remember?
Yes.
You mentioned names, but it was like like the bill could come up to about 300 quid, and it was just like, place lovely. But then we went to this place in London where it wasn't expensive at all. Service. It looked like you was in a little canteen, like school canteen. Service was great, food was amazing, and it cost hardly anything. They went out of their way, and it wasn't because they knew who we were or anything like that.
I really want to go again.
Yeah, anyway guys, we're going to check this one out. Here we go.
This is a premium curry. It costs over $1,000, and it was beautifully constructed by Chef Atul here at Kanishka Restaurant in London. Today I'm on a mission to explore the unlikely world of British curry at 3 different places with 3 different price tags.
It was not on our menu in the beginning, but due to popular demand, we caved.
You caved? And by the end of this video, you'll see the most expensive curry that money can buy. So what goes into making a £1,000 curry? But first, one of the cheapest curries you'll find in one of the most expensive cities in the world. It starts with a ladle full of oil, chopped onions, and green chilies. Right now we're at the Indian YMCA. I've never heard of an Indian YMCA, but I have heard of a YMCA. In the USA, it's just a gym. But here it's very different. The chef builds its signature taste with star anise, mace, cinnamon, bay leaves, cloves, cardamom, cumin, and nutmeg.
This is YMCA Indian Student Hostel, London. This is started in the year 1990. Now it's more than 105 years.
We are here to provide subsidized accommodation and excellent food for international students for a very, very low cost.
But where are the subsidies coming from? Next, diced tomato, garlic ginger paste, coriander powder, chili powder, turmeric powder, and garam masala are added.
We have a trading organization, which is a hotel, and they sort of provide the funding for us to keep the costs low for the charity.
Cubes of lamb join the pan with a cup of water. From here, the chef lets it simmer, soaking up all those flavors. The British developed a deep appreciation for Indian food during their 89 years of colonial rule in India. These days, Indians are the largest minority group in the UK, so it surprises me to hear Sam say,
It is very difficult to get Indian food in London.
It is. Yeah.
It's not just about Indian food, it's about a home-cooked meal. You go to some Indian restaurant, we like to call Asian restaurants, and the food is sort of catered towards the English or the British taste.
Sure, what's wrong with that?
It's a bit bland. It could be a bit bland. So here we have chefs from different parts of India. We have interactions with the students, find out what they like, and they tend to give it that little subtle touches that will sort of make them feel like it's a home-cooked meal.
Our chef tosses fresh coriander leaves, curry leaves, and half a tablespoon of salt into the pan. He lets it simmer a bit longer before confidently sending it to the dining hall. Seema, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Meet Seema. This gifted British Indian was a chef de partie at various Gordon Ramsay restaurants.
Wow.
Now she's a cherished food content creator.
In Indian culture, food is such a prevalent and important factor that kind of brings everyone together. My mum, she always made Indian food growing up. We always had a fresh meal every night. We never had leftovers, we never had frozen food, we never had takeaway. So because of that, it kind of made me realize how important food was to me and kind of gave me my love for cooking.
In general, Indian food in London, is it expensive?
I guess it really just depends where you're going. London itself is quite expensive.
Right.
If you're going on the outskirts of London, it will definitely be a lot cheaper.
Here I'm told that if you came in for lunch and you got lamb curry, maybe some rice, it's going to be under £10. Is that pretty good?
Yeah, £10 is great, especially lamb is an expensive meat. You know, you're probably getting a big portion of it, so £10 is fantastic.
£10
I say
really
we give
good.
it a shot.
Yes.
It costs £10
Tell
just
it's
for
really,
here,
really
just
good
for
when
the.
it has like this oil on the top here. That's a sign of a well-made curry, I would say.
If we were in India right now, would we be eating with our hands or would we?
Yeah, I would eat all of this with my hands. I feel like I don't even know how to eat this with a spoon, to be honest.
Oh, okay. You should just eat however you normally eat.
Yeah. So this is paratha. It's really hard to make.
Flour, egg, milk, sugar, salt, oil, and water join hands in the making of paratha.
To get the
Paratha.
dough so soft and be able to make it so thin is such a skill to do. And it's interesting when they make it, like they don't write down how to make it, they don't have a specific quantities, it's just how you feel.
Yeah, the recipe has to be in your heart.
Yeah, it
And maybe
does.
a little in your
Yeah.
DNA. He then gathers and coils the dough like a turban before running it over with a rolling pin. A short trip to the flat top with multiple oil drizzles turns
Is
this
that oil
flatbread
on
brown
top?
and
It's already-
crispy.
Yeah.
Last but perhaps the most crucial, the paratha smash. Oh, I love paratha so much. It's so flaky and layered. The flavors are outstanding. It's spicy and full of spices. The lamb has a nice lamby taste. It tastes like lamb. I'm so bad at describing Indian food because oftentimes there might be 12 or 24 spices in there. Sure, I could say, oh, I taste the chili powder and the turmeric is in there, and so is every other spice. So how do you describe Indian food?
I would say this is very well spiced, but it's not spicy. You can definitely taste the whole spices, like the clove and the cinnamon, which give it more of like a earthy kind of flavor into it, as well as the main
looks
spices
really
like chili
good.
powder, ground coriander, ground cumin. And I think that's quite difficult, is the balancing of spices in Indian food.
This is our first and most affordable location, but from here, we're going to ratchet it up a bit.
That's the
Later
affordable.
today,
I
I'll be
like
trying
the
a curry
affordable.
100 times
That
more
looked good.
expensive than this. But first, a very controversial curry, one that's both loved and hated. It was invented
Chicken
not
tikka
in
masala.
India, but right here in the United Kingdom. I'm talking about chicken tikka masala.
Oh, yeah.
To learn more about this British Indian dish, we've come here to Tayyab's. This restaurant is a 50-year-old family business that's earned its reputation for its
50 years
pure
old.
Pakistani flavor that's hard to find in London.
My dad used to make his one pot of curry. At first, people were struggling with the spices, and people used to tell my dad, Mr. Tayyab, dial it down a bit, you'll get more customers. My dad said, I'd rather stop.
A man of integrity.
Yeah.
Greeting us today, Alim, the second-generation owner of Tayyab's. In coming years, I thought there was just Indian food, but actually I'm told this is British Indian food that you'll find all over London.
It is very difficult to get Indian food in London.
What is the difference to you between Indian and British Indian? British food, with its focus on simplicity and natural flavors,
Yum,
contrasts
yum.
sharp with the spice-rich complexity of Indian cuisine.
Sweet's
When
favourite.
fused together, they form British Indian food, tailored to the British palate, which may mean fewer bold spices, or as Sandeep describes,
It's a bit
Bland.
bland.
There's some British Indian restaurants, they do shortcuts. They use spice in a jar, canned, and they just cheat. But us here, we're keeping it real.
And knowing
despite
that,
Alim's
keep it
pride
very
in
less
authentic
spicy.
Pakistani flavors,
so they can
one of the
handle it.
most popular dishes at Tayyab's is a dish that was invented here in the United Kingdom.
It was not on our menu, but due to popular demand, we caved.
You caved?
We caved.
This dish is chicken tikka masala. Do you know how this dish came to be?
I think it originated in Glasgow. This guy man was making chicken tikka, which is just chicken, just grilled, basically.
Chicken tikka. Cubes of chicken breast are marinated with a mix of chili, garlic, ginger, lemon juice, homemade spice, coriander, oil, and yogurt. Then they're skewered and plopped on the grill.
It's nice though.
Someone came in.
My son loves it.
British came in and said we wanted more sauce in it. So he added a tin of tomato soup, which made it a lot more creamier, tomatoey, a lot less spicy. He gave it back, and the man was absolutely obsessed with it. Couldn't get enough of it, and then they put it on the menu. And I think that's actually like one of the national dishes of England.
Though Tayyab's kitchen might have caved,
We caved.
their standards here allow no canned tomato sauce. Fresh tomatoes, onions, and plenty of oil go into a pot, where the chef adds garlic ginger paste, chili powder, turmeric powder, and salt. He mixes the pot well, then blends everything into a smooth, vibrant orange soup. If you go to India now, can you find it on menus there?
Yeah, you can now. It's under crossover.
That's wild. Fans of Indo-Paki cuisine might notice the absence of curry leaves, coconut milk, and the usual whole dried spices in this dish. Are there other Pakistani or Indian recipes that have been adapted in this way to suit the local palate?
That's just the one.
Just the one?
Yeah.
Amazing. The chicken tikka joins the sauce, and together they jump into a fiery vessel.
It's good though, isn't it?
Please, dish yourself first.
I can have this for
You're my
lunch.
guest. Okay, let me do you.
I can have this for breakfast, to be honest. I can eat Indian kind of for breakfast.
Yeah.
And lots of sauce. We've got some butter naan right here.
Yeah, it looks so buttery. Oh my god.
Here, the naan is crafted from a dough blend of flour, water, yeast, sugar, and sometimes yogurt or milk.
It's
Naan
crazy
is typically
when we do
cooked
this
in a
food
clay
ones, I
oven,
tell
where
ya.
the dough clings to the walls and bakes to golden brown, puffy perfection. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Will I be disappointed? Will I be blown away? Will I be saddened? Will I be distraught?
I bet it's going to be nice.
The flavors, not a ton of spices,
Yeah.
very tomatoey, and pretty heavy, pretty oily. And that's it. No spiciness, it's not hot. The spice is literally coming from the tomato.
Yeah, it's a very, very mild curry. It still has that like whisper of like a traditional Indian curry.
I love the idea that an Indian street food vendor went up to my ear and whispered, masala. I was like, is the masala in the room with me now?
But it's still really delicious. It's very, very tomatoey. I actually really like the char of the chicken as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a
what
little bit
does
of the
it
char
mean to
flavor from it being roasted over the charcoal. So overall, I like it. There's something satisfying about it, but then there's also something that's missing.
The spice.
The spice.
To be honest,
so
of
it's
all
bit
the Indian
tame.
food, I like my mom's the best. But when I'm going to a restaurant where I want to have loads of friends be happy, somewhere like this is absolutely perfect. It's like a gateway Indian dish. If you're worried that Indian food's going to be too spicy for you, it's a great way to kind of get used to it. And then you can start delving into like the really spicy stuff.
It was very nice to try both these meals with you and to get your perspective.
Yeah.
That said, from here, we are parting ways. From here, I'm headed to a restaurant that's serving a curry that costs £1,000.
God.
Could you even imagine what it could be?
Is it like 1,000 curries?
I think they found an endangered animal.
Oh.
Yeah. Kanishka, in their words, offers a modern interpretation of dishes from northeastern India in a sophisticated dining room.
So what we call fine dining Indian here is whatever I create based on the ingredients I get here, however using my own techniques and spices. We definitely have lobster on the menu. We
What
also
lobster, you
have
mean?
venison. We use truffle from time to time. We sell our three-course lunch menu for £45, but we also sell our tasting menu paired with wines for £250.
The captain here is Chef
Yeah.
Atul, the first Indian chef to earn a Michelin star.
What
Now,
was-
he
yeah.
has two. Today you're taking on the challenge of making a curry that costs £1,000. When we came to you with this challenge, why'd you accept it? Why'd you want to take this on?
I'm always up for a challenge. We are not taught no in India. We are taught yes. Before you finish your sentence, it's a yes, we can. That's hospitality for us.
Do you think when this comes out that there will be haters out there, that there will be people who say Indian food is meant to be humble, it's not meant to be this premium, high-end, inaccessible, super expensive food? I mean, what would you say to people
Valuable for
who have
everyone,
that
isn't it?
point
Well,
of view?
you're right, but that's for every cuisine. French cuisine can also be very humble and sweet and nice and easy, and you have to pay very little money for it. But French cuisine is also massively elevated, where £1,000 a dish would be actually nothing.
So in just a moment, you're going to be making this 1,000-pound curry. I would love if you could show us some of the ingredients.
Sure, we can. This
And
is
you still got
beautifully
shitty out tomorrow.
fried, recently caught lobster, so obviously it comes quite a prime price.
The lobster is poached with mace, star anise, and black cardamom.
It was alive!
Then it's de-shelled.
So I've just seared the lobster and left it in spice butter where it will be poaching. And my aim is to keep the temperature of the lobster below 55 degrees centigrade, so it's just
That's what he
nicely
got at the
congealed.
But just you wait, because this isn't even the most expensive item on his ingredient list.
Morels are really prime mushrooms, which I'm hugely fond of. And come summer, British forests are full of morels, and we have them for us.
Them in the garden.
Get dried morels also that can be cheaper. You can also get bulk produced morels, which can be done in a container.
This isn't food.
These are wild forage morels. Scallops, which I'm quite proud of because they are from Orkney Island and they're hand dyed. To me, these are smaller, but I have had scallops which are as large as my palm. But this will do because lobster will take the main plate.
Atul sears the scallops with butter, curry leaves, chili, garlic, and ginger. Then he lets them rest.
So you just get Gora food, put a little curry sauce, and you make it into...
1,000 curry. You got to use beluga caviar.
Harvested from the beluga sturgeon, primarily found in the Caspian Sea, beluga caviar is
This
one
is
of
like
the world's
getting
most luxurious
sausages
and
and doing a
sought-after
torta on it
delicacies.
and saying it's curry.
It's really expensive. This by far is our most expensive ingredient of the
not
day,
Indian
and I
food.
can't wait to see
isn't
how these
Indian
rich
food.
fish
This is
eggs
not Indian
pair
food.
with curry.
And now we're going to start making the curry which will go
No,
with
he
it.
will get a lot of people around.
Moldy sauce is Chef Atul's pick for the base. It starts with oil, mustard seeds, green curry leaves.
Just because you put a torta on something, it doesn't make it Indian food.
Color the garlic, just sweat it, and then chopped onions or chopped shallots, whichever you prefer. A pinch of salt, and once onions are nicely sweat,
Where
then you
did
add
you get
turmeric,
these from
and
that
we
you
have
put across the
coconut
ground?
milk here.
The authentic moldy recipe is a rich, creamy, mildly spiced fish stew from Kerala, India.
There's not one dish I can put up there and say this really represents India. The cuisine is quite varied, from north to south, east to west. When I say moili, everybody knows their mind transports them to Kerala. The fish which is caught on the backwaters or from sea, cooked in moili sauce is called mean moili. But I'm going to call it lobster moili, and I'm using native lobster what we get here, one of the best in the world in my opinion. Okay guys, the sauce is ready. I'm just going to plate it now. So this is the curry which we have made. I've just put the lobster in, and I'm going to put one of the scallops. One of the mussels have gone in. We're just going to give nice slivers of summer truffle at the moment. Beluga caviar we're going to put on top of the scallop, and something close to a heart. This is called monk's beard, which have been
And do
tempered.
you eat this
That
with a
is
roti
worth
or a
1,000
naan
curry.
or a paratha? Or do you eat this with a knife and fork?
Order there.
That ain't Indian food.
Lolly, a mega fan of all things Indian, has visited India 7 times. Her YouTube channel features the best of Indian food and culture in London and abroad. Though she's experienced curries near and far, this will be her first elevated curry.
Well, that looks like caviar.
And her first caviar.
This is weird. This black stuff looks like wood.
And her first truffle.
We've got like a lobster fishy looking thing.
Her first taste of lobster.
And a scallop, I guess.
And her first scallop, too.
I don't know what the yellow stuff is though.
That would be the curry.
Oh, okay.
So that's the curry, that's it.
Try the curry itself.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, that in a curry when you have to eat it with a knife and fork.
It's just like a Michelin white man place.
Oh wow, that's really good.
That's so nice.
Spicy and a ton of coconut milk coming through.
It's super rich. That is actually super delicious.
I did not expect that.
I could eat a huge bowl of that. It's very mellow though.
The
It's
curry
not
on the
too
side that
spicy.
Yeah,
they
the
made.
spices are well balanced. Let's try next the scallop. Already the caviar and the scallop is a beautiful pairing. They go well together. The scallop is sweet, the caviar is briny, very heavy. But you mix that with this onslaught of spices from the curry. It's really an incredible combination. What do you think?
Slimy.
Slimy?
Right. He didn't say
This is your first
nice.
scallop?
He didn't say, oh god, this is a great
How
curry.
old are you?
Huh?
Nothing?
How old am I?
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. That's rude to ask.
I'm 34.
You know what's interesting though? The inverse of that. I was in my younger 30s the first time I ever tried curry. It unlocked a part of my brain. It was like in a video game when you unlock a part of the map. I was like, I didn't know this flavor combination could exist. It blew my mind, and I love it. Perhaps that will happen to you with lobster. But first, this is the morel mushroom.
She didn't seem
It doesn't even look
impressed.
appealing.
She
I
doesn't
think you
seem.
just want to say
that's
nice
good.
stuff because
Tastes like
he's obviously
steak.
reached
Yeah,
out
the
to
texture
it.
of it is
She
almost
says it
like
tastes like
beef
steak.
tripe, the cow's stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah?
He
Exactly.
can't say
I've
anything.
never had
Yeah,
cow's
I know,
stomach.
I know you
No,
are.
but I can feel like it's earthy and meaty.
It's really good. At last we have the lobster. Now, the lobster...
She
no,
doesn't
not
look
lobster.
impressed.
It's also been
Neither of them
topped
are sold
with
it to
this
you.
right here. This is black truffle. In my opinion, truffles have a lot better
He seems like he has
smell
to.
than
Yeah.
taste. I don't think they have a very profound or strong taste.
You know when you like something, the way he goes on.
Yeah, yeah. You can see his mouth watery and you can see his expressions.
Don't insert it.
She likes Indian
like
food
leather.
and she looks like she's not impressed at all.
Maybe. I could actually, yeah. No, I think you're right. This one does
You wanna
actually have a
duck
little
into
bit
it.
of
You
that
Yeah.
wanna be
leathery solid. They're not all the
smelling
same.
and looking.
Did you see earlier with the naan and the paratha they were eating, how good it looked?
I think maybe I've been put off lobster because the amount of shrimps I had in Vietnam, you know, they're the massive ones, and I had them on a boat and I felt really
nice
seasick
as
and it put me off.
You got to get back on the boat, so to
Look
speak.
at that. She got maybe I'm put off, that's why I don't like
These
it.
are some really
It's not Indian food?
truffles, very expensive. I could kind of taste it, but kind of smell it at
She
the
don't
same
like it.
time while it was in
I
my
didn't
mouth.
sell it
It's
to me
not a
either.
strong
It doesn't look
flavor,
like
but
Indian
it's
food.
something that you kind of like taste almost in your nose
Oh
than in
my
your
god,
mouth. You know what I mean?
please look at the comment section.
That's right. Putting the price aside,
You don't
as
like it,
someone
look?
who's certainly had more curries than me, would you eat this again?
Yeah, I would.
Me too. I think it tastes delicious.
I wouldn't pay a grand
As
for it.
somebody who's traveled so much in India, who's eaten there, and then who's also eaten plenty of Indian food here in London, what do you feel like some of the differences are between each place? Because it is different. For example, have you had chicken tikka masala?
I have. So what's catered for the British, they're a lot more creamier and basically just a lot more basic, I would say, curries. Whereas actually Indian food itself, it's not just about curries, it's about many different things and it's like much deeper flavors and more complex dishes, I'd say.
Do you think there's still a place in London for the chicken tikka masala?
No. I think soon the tikka masala might be a thing of the past.
So even though the chicken tikka masala, it's not my favorite curry ever, but here's why I think it should still exist. Because when you compare British food and Indian food, they're polar opposites. And so with chicken tikka masala, it gives people a bridge, a safe harbor, a sanctuary, a place where they can go where they can feel safe to try something
that
new,
even
so they can
bacon,
gently
so
step
good.
out of their
Mucho
comfort
paniyayam
zone
da.
and slowly acclimate to a new different type of cuisine
Yeah,
that's
the-
wildly different
you
from
wanna
British
take off
food.
the
But
flowers,
if
you
people
wanna
want
move things
to
to the
level
side.
up at any time, they're welcome to.
Yeah,
Probably
I
tastes
think
nice, and
it's
you want to
time
know
for
what
people
you
to
have. It's not
branch
like,
out
oh my
and find
God,
out
I
what
really
real
want
Indian
that.
food is.
Is that your real name, Lolly?
My real name is Laura, but in India, Laura sounds like Lauda, which basically means penis.
Oh no.
When I introduced myself when I first went over to India, it didn't go down too well, especially as my surname is Payne, so I was like, hi, I'm Penis Payne, basically.
That's like every man's greatest fear. Lolly said she's brought me a gift and she wants me to open it on camera.
Yeah, it's just so you remember this day forever.
Okay, it seems like a picture frame maybe. Let's see if it's busted or not.
Sonny as her age.
Nice.
So it says
like
sunny
you
side
really
in
played that
Hindi
well.
on the top, and yeah, that's like a little caricature of you. Although the curry is a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be, so...
Right. Thank you.
No problem. I think it looks like you.
Actually, it looks like I haven't eaten for a while. But the bandana and the full head of hair, I like that part.
Yeah.
Well, today we tried 3 different curries with 3 vastly different price tags. But at the end of the day, I must choose one curry that gave me the most bang for my buck. Was it the affordable curry at the Indian YMCA? Was it the controversial chicken tikka masala at our second location? Or was it the 1,000-pound curry that cost over
That's not a curry.
$1,200? Well, my choice for the curry that gave me the most bang for my buck was absolutely the YMCA curry. Those
The
are some of the
YMCA
best
curry.
Indian flavors I've had in a long time.
Look.
And honestly, I just can't believe how affordable
You
it
said
all
it, didn't
was.
you?
But what
It's
do you
the
guys
top
think?
beer
Which
ones or
curry
the
would you
cheap?
most like to try next time you come to London? Anyways, guys, that is it
Don't
for this
go to
video. I want to say a huge
expensive
thank you to
restaurants.
everyone who joined me. First of all, Seema. You can find Seema on Instagram. She's also on TikTok. Follow her travels and her fun food adventures. And also, I want to thank Lolly. You can find Lolly on YouTube as she explores Indian food and culture.
I'm
all
glad that
around
she
London.
was
I also wanna
honest
thank
and
all
true
of the
in the way
chefs
that
and
she was
cooks who were
expressing.
part
She
of
didn't want to
today's
be
video.
bad
I had a great time.
or
I hope you
horrible.
did too. Otherwise, that is it for this one. Thank you so much for
She
watching.
would've just
I will
said
see you
it.
next time.
Peace.
Alright, I gotta get one of these red buses.
He really stands out in UK.
In the
In India,
UK.
he'd really like blend in.
Maybe I'll get in the
well.
tube.
Why is that?
Tube. CHUBE. Jump in the tube.
Okay, anyway, that was the video. Sri, if she had gone, I mean, you can't take her. And
Honest review.
she would have gone,
I'm not gonna be nice about it.
She's like that even now when we go to places to eat. If we get invited, she just can't say, if it's not good, it's not good. She played it well in the sense that she wasn't bad.
Down like that and it played well.
£1,000 thingy meal, and he's took her there, and she's got like a channel. She's an influencer. So, but you could see from it to her, it wasn't appealing. That was not a curry. I mean, I'm not being bad. It's like, you know, have you seen those videos that we
It's
see?
a joke to know. Those 2 plates cost what 1,000 and 1,255 each. Double that.
Whatever.
What?
And
Get myself a car.
I was gonna say, you know, when you see these like street food vendors, you know, like the ones that carry Minetti and Slay Point, all them like take the piss out of. You know, the ones that mix this with mix that, and they just think chuck some Oreos in and all that. It doesn't make it into, you know, Indian dessert or Indian food just because you're chucking all this stuff in. And it's like that. It's like, just because I'm putting a lobster and doing this and doing that and putting a little curry around it, it doesn't make it a curry. And then you're spending that much. I'm not being bad. It didn't look appealing.
Nope.
And again, it is made for the Gore.
It is.
It's not made for the Indians.
Those rich people, and they do have the money to come and waste on shit like that.
And I'm not being bad. After you eat £1,000, even if I become a millionaire tomorrow, I'm not spending £1,000 on a small dish like that. You're not even going to be full.
Them feel good, like you can afford.
How are you going to be full with that?
No.
The other khana, that YMCA one, look at the price. Look how good it looked. And not only that, and after that, you feel good. You know you're going to feel full.
Can I please see the comment section? I want to see what people have said.
We can see it after. We can't really go on the comment section now. But yeah. So which one out of those three?
Oh, the first one.
First one.
100% lamb. And even the chicken tikka, it looked, with them explained, it looked nice, but obviously I want more taste to it. I don't want the Gouda style.
Again, I like here, I was going to say, I like the bar and grill foods because their curries, they seem a lot more nice and stuff. That's why they're a bit more cheaper. You go even to the Indian restaurants that are run by Indians, many of the times, the food that they cater for is for the English.
Because it's,
It is for the English. And not only that, you can taste the meat. The meat seems like it's been boiled and put away and then recooked with whatever curry you want. Whereas you don't see that, feel that when you eat it in other places. It's like that, trust me. And the franchise ones don't even bother with those. Honestly, they're just bugwas. It's not for Indians. Anyway, guys, that was the video. That was our reaction. Let us know in the comments below. What do you guys think and feel? And did you guys agree with what we thought? Was that lobster dish really a curry? Does he make a curry just because you do a tadka to something? Anyway, we'll see you on the next one. Take care. See you soon.
Bye.